They say isolation plays tricks on the mind. But Blackridge Point doesn't need isolation. It has something worse. My name is Ellis, and 2 weeks ago, I took a job as the new lighthouse keeper. Thought it'd be simple, quiet, peaceful. I was wrong. Dead wrong. The boatman didn't speak much when he dropped me off. Just handed me a rusted tin box and said, "Read every rule. Follow them like your life depends on it." His eyes lingered too long. Then he left without looking back. The fog swallowed him. The tin box contained a single sheet of paper. On it, 20 handwritten rules, stained with something dark. Some were simple. Never let the light go out. Others, less so. If the bell rings after midnight, don't check who's ringing. I laughed at first. I thought it was hazing, a joke for the newbie. But that first night, at 12:03, the bell rang. A deep, slow clang that echoed through my bones. I didn't move. I remembered rule number 9. Do not acknowledge the bell after midnight. I sat there, frozen in the keeper's chair, hands sweating. The bell rang again, closer this time. The air got heavier, like the room was underwater. I forced myself to look at the rule sheet again. Rule number 12. Do not leave your post, no matter what you hear. I didn't sleep that night. The bell eventually stopped, but something scratched at the door for hours. A wet, dragging sound, like claws. By morning, the fog hadn't lifted, and my hands trembled as I tried to write in the logbook. Page already filled. The entry wasn't mine. It said, "Ellis is here now. We'll watch him too." Below that, a smudge shaped like a handprint. Too large to be human. I stared out the window. Nothing but sea and mist. But I knew something out there was watching. By the third day, I noticed something wrong with the rotation. The beam of light from the tower hesitated every few minutes, like it caught on something. I climbed up to inspect the lens, but everything looked normal until I found the second set of footprints. They were wet, bare, leading from the stairs to the lantern, then vanishing near the window. I checked every corner. No one was there. I was supposed to be alone. Rule number 5 echoed in my head. If you find footprints that aren't yours, don't follow them. That night, the radio crackled. Static, then a voice, faint and broken. Light, going out. Don't look at the water, don't. The voice ended in a gurgling cough. I tried to respond. Silence. Just my reflection in the black window glass, except I wasn't blinking. I stepped back. My reflection stayed still. Then it smiled. My heart slammed against my ribs as I turned off the light in the room. Darkness swallowed the figure. When I turned the lamp back on, it was gone, but I swear I heard breathing behind me. I locked every door that night, every window. I placed the rule sheet under my pillow like a talisman. Rule number 16. Your reflection is not your ally. Never meet its eyes after dusk. I couldn't stop thinking about that smile. Too many teeth. Too wide. At 2:11 a.m., I heard footsteps above me, slow, deliberate. I gripped the rusted crowbar I kept near the bed. The rules didn't say what to do if something was already inside. I waited. Silence. Then something whispered my name from the floor vent. I didn't answer. I lay still, breathing through my teeth, gripping the crowbar so hard my knuckles cracked. Morning came eventually, but the feeling didn't fade. Whatever it was, it knew my name now. I wasn't just being watched. I was being studied. On day 5, I noticed something wrong with the journal again. Someone, or something, was writing in it between my entries. Not every night, just when the fog got especially thick. The latest line read, "He still pretends not to see us." I tried burning the journal. The pages wouldn't catch. They just curled and hissed, oozing black smoke that smelled like salt and rot. I threw it into the supply locker and locked it shut. Rule number 3. If an object refuses to burn, it belongs to the lighthouse. Later, while cleaning the upper deck, I saw someone standing at the base of the cliff. Pale, still, staring straight up at me. I blinked and they were gone, but the footprints remained. Deep, wet impressions in the moss-covered stone. I reported it on the radio, but all I got was static, and then the sound of my own voice from last night's log entry playing back to me. Only it wasn't exactly what I'd said. There were extra words. Words I didn't remember speaking. Keep the light on. They hate the light. That part wasn't mine. I never said that. My throat dried up as I listened to the voice repeat it over and over, slower each time, until it sounded like something else entirely. like laughter. That night, the bulb in the tower flickered. Just once. But I felt the whole lighthouse groan, like it knew. Rule number 1. Never let the light go out. I climbed the stairs 2 at a time. At the top, the bulb was intact, but someone had scratched a word into the lens. One word. Closer. I stared at it for a long time, feeling something shift in the air behind me. I didn't turn around. I just backed down the steps slowly, keeping my eyes on the lens. But the reflection in the glass had already turned to face me. The next morning, a gull slammed into the window, snapped its neck, just dropped from the sky like gravity forgot how to work. I stepped outside and found a dozen more, silent, broken, scattered like offerings. Their eyes had been removed. Rule number 11 came back to me. If the birds stop circling, lock the doors. Don't watch the sky. I made that mistake once. Just once. I glanced up and saw something vast moving behind the clouds, like a ripple under skin. No shape, no form, but aware. It was watching me. I felt it, a weight behind my eyes, pressing in. I stumbled back inside, bolting the door, trembling. My nose bled for hours after that. The mirror in the washroom cracked down the center. I hadn't touched it. Later, I found the rule sheet folded open on my bed. I hadn't left it there. A new rule had been added in handwriting not my own. Stop asking questions. My stomach dropped. Because I had. I'd been writing notes. The lighthouse didn't like that. Every attempt to contact the mainland failed. The radio now plays only one voice, my mother's. But she's been dead for years. It's always the same phrase, whispered on loop. You shouldn't have come here, Ellis. Over and over. I smashed the radio. Thought it would help. But that night, I heard her voice again, this time through the pipes. Hollow, echoing. You shouldn't have come here, Ellis. The water in the sink turned black. Thick. It pulsed when I touched it. I turned off every tap, but the whispering didn't stop. It's inside the walls now. Or maybe inside me. I haven't slept in 2 nights. Every time I close my eyes, I see the same thing, someone in the fog. Getting closer. Holding something sharp. The dreams aren't dreams anymore. They continue after I wake up. I'll be staring at my hands, and then realize I'm still asleep. At least, I think I am. Time here has begun to slip. Sometimes the sun rises twice. Sometimes not at all. I checked the logs from the previous keeper. Pages torn, ink smeared, but one entry stood out. You are not here to keep the light on. The light is here to keep something in. I reread that sentence for hours, trying to feel sane again. I've stopped using the stairs. They shift now. Sometimes there are 15 steps, sometimes 30. Once, I went up and never reached the top, just kept climbing, until I heard something breathing above me. I went back down, or at least, I think I did. I tried carving a message into the wood near the base. If you're reading this, don't trust the rules. The next day, it was gone. In its place, there are no rules, Ellis. Only rehearsals. What am I rehearsing for? Every reflection of me is changing. Slight differences. One blinked out of sync. Another didn't smile when I did. The worst one just stood there, unmoving, lips parted like it wanted to speak, but couldn't. I covered every mirror. It didn't help. Yesterday, I found my own handwriting in the supply log, but dated 2 years ago. I haven't been here that long. Have I? I tried to count the days. Gave up when the number hit triple digits. The calendar on the wall just says, wait. The fog is inside now. It seeps under the door, curls along the floor like it knows where it's going. I whisper the rules aloud every night, like a prayer, but I'm starting to forget them. They keep changing, or maybe I'm the one who is. Last night, I found a photograph taped to the inside of the lantern room. It was me, standing at the edge of the cliff, staring up at the lighthouse. The timestamp was today. The sky behind me in the photo was burning red, but outside, the sky was black. I don't remember going outside. I don't remember the photo being taken, but when I looked down from the lantern room, there were footprints, fresh, leading to the cliff's edge, stopping there, like I'd jumped or been pulled off. I've sealed the doors with furniture now. Even if something wants in, it'll have to break the glass. Not that I think it needs to. This place, it opens for them. Sometimes the windows rattle. Sometimes they breathe. Sometimes they ask to be let in. A voice whispered to me from the stairwell today. Same tone as the old keeper's log. Calm. Flat. The lighthouse was never for you, Ellis. You're just the candle. They want the flame. I didn't move for hours after that. I just sat and listened. The logbook's ink moves now. I caught it shifting on its own, forming new sentences. Tell the next one to run. There's still time. But there isn't. I know that now. The next one's already watching. I see him in the mirror. He looks just like me. I screamed for help into the radio. Got laughter in return. Then silence. Then one word. Repeat. My throat locked. Because deep down, I understood. This isn't the first time. I've lived this before. And I'll live it again. And again. Outside, the sea is gone. Just flat, endless fog now. A dead sky. No waves. No birds. Just stillness. Like the world forgot how to move. I touched the glass of the lantern room and felt something pulse behind it, like a heartbeat. Not mine. I found a second rule sheet today, not in the tin box. It was nailed to the underside of my bed. Different handwriting. Only one rule. Do not trust the original rules. I stared at it for a long time, wondering which version of me wrote it. There are voices in the fog now. Familiar ones. Some sound like old friends. Others like things I've forgotten. One whispered a lullaby my mother used to sing. But she never told me the last verse. The version they're singing doesn't end. I tried to leave the lighthouse. Packed a bag. Took the long path down to the shore. But the sea wasn't there. Just more lighthouse. Stretching in every direction. Endless towers. Some crumbled. Some lit. Some watching me back. One tower across the mist flashed its light at me. 3 long, 2 short. Morse code. I rushed to the manual to translate. It said, "You are the anomaly." I dropped the book. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My skin felt inside out. Back inside, the mirrors had uncovered themselves. Every one of them. Cracked, but not shattered. Each reflection moved just a little off. One waved. One cried. One smiled with my face, but not my eyes. That one mouthed something I couldn't hear. I wrote it down, what I thought it said. You're almost through. Through what? The rules? The loop? The lighthouse? Does it matter? I used to care about escaping. Now I just want to know why. But I think the answer is worse than the question. The light flickers more often now. And when it does, the darkness outside becomes less empty. I can see shapes. Towers walking on legs of bone. Things with faces made of fog. And in the center of it all, a door that's never been opened. The door appeared yesterday. Not in the tower, in me. A pain beneath my ribs like a hinge cracking open. When I breathe too deeply, I hear it creak. The mirror versions smile wider now, like they're waiting for me to step through myself. The rule sheet changed again. The ink was dripping upward, spelling, "Turn off the light." Just once. I almost did it. I stood there, hand on the switch, heart pounding like it knew what would happen. But I didn't. Not yet. A knock came at midnight. Soft, rhythmic, from the inside of the fogged-up window. I wiped it clean and saw me. Not my reflection. Me. In soaked clothes, eyes hollow. Mouth open, screaming silently. Behind him, dozens more. All versions of me. I remembered something then, just a flash. A boat. Crashing. The real lighthouse, far in the distance. A whisper. This isn't the tower. It's the echo. I don't know what it means, but now I wonder, have I ever even left that boat? The logbook wrote another line without me. He's remembering too much. Reset required. I tore the page out. Burned it. This time it burned. Ashes turned to salt on the floor. My tongue tastes like the ocean now, even though I haven't seen it in days. I spoke to the light today, out loud, asked it what it wanted. It hummed, vibrated through the walls, and then answered, not in words, but in understanding. You were never here to keep the light on. You are the light, Ellis. That word again. Ellis. Is that even my name? It's on the papers, on the badge, but it feels borrowed. Like everything here. The walls, the air, the heartbeat behind the lens. This tower is a costume, and something underneath is starting to unzip it. The fog is inside me now, not metaphorically. I coughed this morning and it came out in ribbons. Cold, wet, whispering as it left my throat. It said, almost dawn, but there hasn't been a sunrise in weeks. Just that endless red glow beyond the glass. The journal writes constantly. Whole pages filled with events I haven't lived yet. One entry ends with, and then he opened the door, thinking it was the end. I don't want to turn the page. I already feel the handle under my ribs, turning. I tried smashing every clock. Thought maybe time would stop, but it didn't. The ticking just moved to the walls, the floor, my own heartbeat. Everything's counting down. To what? I don't know. But it's close. It's in the wires. In the fog. Today, the light changed color. Not white anymore, blue. Deep and cold. When it swept across the horizon, I saw them. Hundreds, maybe thousands. Frozen in place. Eyes glowing. All turned toward the tower, waiting for the light to fail. I asked the mirror Ellis what happens if I finish writing. He smiled with teeth made of keys. Said, "That's when we stop pretending you were ever the first." I screamed at him. He just blinked, and my voice echoed back from outside. Now, even the rules are fading. Paper peeling. Letters dissolving like salt and rain. I wrote them all again by hand, but my handwriting keeps changing. Each night, a new version of me corrects the last. We're all arguing, and none of us are right. The door is pulsing now, visible in every wall. Not physical, conceptual. I feel it behind every choice I make. Open the door. Don't open the door. Either way, something steps through. The light's flickering faster. I think I've already decided. Tonight, the fog pressed its face against the glass. No features, just suggestion. The shape of a question I've been avoiding. I whispered to it, "What am I?" It didn't answer, just smiled. I didn't know fog could smile. The lighthouse groans now, like it's alive and aching. The floorboards pulse with breath. The light flickers faster, slower, then backwards. Time has become unthreaded. I am remembering futures, regretting pasts that never happened. Yet, there's a figure in the lantern room with me. He stands in the corner. Same clothes, same face, but eyes like glass, reflecting stars I've never seen. He doesn't move, doesn't blink, just watches. And I get the feeling I used to be him. The final page in the logbook wrote itself tonight. "Thank you, Ellis. Your shift is complete." Light off. But I didn't turn it off. I couldn't. I didn't know how. Then I saw my hand reach forward. Only it wasn't my choice. When the light died, the stars came alive. Not twinkling, blinking, like eyes. The sea roared without water. The fog rushed in, not around the tower, through it. Through me. And I swear I heard the word again. Not spoken. Reborn. I woke up at the base of the lighthouse. Everything intact. Logbook empty. Rules crisp and new. My name at the top. "Welcome, Ellis. You are the keeper." Like it's the first day, but the air tastes like salt. My bones remember otherwise. So I've started writing again. Just in case. If someone finds this, if there is a someone, remember this much. The light isn't to guide ships. It's to keep something in. And if the door ever opens again, don't be curious. Be gone.